Alright, so pardon the birds. If you guys hear birds in the background, I got birds outside, they're making a lot of noise. Alright, so in this process here, what we're doing is rasping. Okay, now you can cut a lot of time off your body work if you start learning how to rasp. Okay, and you always want to rasp from the outer body edge. You see, I'm starting to knock off all the high bondo, the body filler spots with the rasp here. Okay, so start with the outside of the body panel, you know, the flat part of the body panel, and work your way in toward the inside. And all I'm doing here is hitting the high spots down. So after you rasp, sometimes when you pull out dents, you're gonna pull out a little too far, right? And when you're doing your rasping, you're gonna hit the metal area. So all I'm doing here is just tapping down the high spots. Now I'm gonna mix my bondo. I'm gonna go over everything again, because you're gonna have to go over it, you know, 2-3 times, sometimes up to 5 times if you have a big, huge dent that you're working on. You gotta go multiple times. So this is a little trick that us body guys do. We put tape on the back of these sanding papers here, because if you don't, they start to rip on the corners when you're using the straight line sander here. All right, so what we usually do is put a strip of duct tape if you have it, or a couple of strips of your basic 3/4 inch tape, and then put it on your straight line sander just like that. And what I like about the straight line sander is that it's nice and flat and you can cut down pretty well. We're using a 40 grit paper here. Okay, so we could shape out and cut what we need to do. We had to add a little oil to it because it wasn't running right. And there is air tool oil that you can add a couple of drops into your air tools every once in a while. Sit here and pull them because I want you to see the process of how I use the straight line sander. Now we're going to be using the guide coat here. Basic spray paint, okay? I'm going to guide coat it, let it dry for 5-10 minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and use the block and cut it down with the block just like this. You can see how. And you're going to be noticing that all the low spots are going to stay dark, right? That's where you know you have to refill. So all you do when you're done and you see all your low spots is scuff that area up again and put a coat of Bondo in there. So as you see here, I'm mixing more Bondo up and we are going to be covering all the low spots just like that. Okay, you work it little by little and you get your body work done. Okay, I'm going to also use my finger here to help me out with the ridge. It's basically an art, you know, once you get down and you understand how it all works, it's basically art, you know, sculpting. Now, as you see, this is Gary's first time laying Bondo. He's never done it before. He's a contractor, so he's done spackling in houses and whatnot, you know, working on his own house and some customer stuff, but he's never applied Bondo like this before. And I think he's pushing a little too hard because you want to build it up. You can see the metal popping through. Here we got our little second coats of touch-up Bondo here around the, so we're just trying to sand off all the clear, get everything feathered out. What I told him was every once in a while you want to hit the DA, right? Turn it on, hit it, whack it, get the dust off, and then continue sanding because it cakes up in the sandpaper once in a while. Now we're just going to mask off all these sections where we don't want to sand, just to get an idea, and then we're going to shape it with our guide coat, block it down, and there's our dent, nice and fixed. So I'll see you in the next sections, and I purposely leave these long so you can see the process of the complete body work. All right, thanks, bye-bye.